Hey everybody, welcome to the relaunch of the We Like Dota Finals Tournament Best of 5 series. Tonight, God willing, we are going to crown the champion of the We Like Dota inaugural Season 1 Tournament Series. So without further ado, let's get into the game here. Due to the server problems that we experienced last time, we are going to have a modified first game here where Patriot will have selection priority for side, server, and draft preferences, draft order. So they have chosen to draft first and be on side Dire. We will continue in the normal rotation for games 2 through 5.
10 seconds to go.
So it should be interesting to see what they do with the advantage here.
Radiance ban.
It'll also be interesting to see if the Canadians and Team Patriot are going to take anything strategy-wise into this game from the brief hiatus that they had previously. We have a silencer ban.
Radiance ban.
And an undying ban. And I think these are in direct response to what we were seeing in previous games by the Canadians. I think they had some early aggression plays from the Undying, and they definitely had the
10 seconds to go.
blink call initiation from Axe
5 seconds.
in their games leading up to the finals. Faceless Void ban. Very reasonable one.
Mirana.
Radiance pick.
There's the first pick, Mirana. An interesting first pick. Possibly a support, possibly a roaming Mirana. We'll see if they can pick up another combo piece. See if they're willing to go a Bane Mirana route, or just willing to take her up for the core position.
10 seconds to go.
All of those being flexible in a Mirana first pick.
5 seconds. Reserve time.
Witch Doctor!
Radiance pick.
And a Witch Doctor pickup for the Canadians means they probably have a strategy in mind. I don't think that Witch Doctor is a particular counter to the Mirana, or a set piece for the Mirana either. So I have a feeling they have a line of play that they're going to follow in their pickups here.
10 seconds to go. 5 seconds. Reserve time.
Shadow Shaman!
Dire's pick.
Shadow Shaman pickup for the Canadians. Definitely an early push piece. Not sure how he combos with the Witch Doctor. They both have wards, so that's a nice commonality. I don't think I've ever seen that combination before, both dropping wards at the same time, but I bet that would be kind of cool to see.
5 seconds.
I would hate to be on the receiving end of some of Shadow Shaman's stuns and lockdown if I was sitting under Witch Doctor's ult. And we have a Sand King for Patriot. Now on to the next series bans. Patriot quickly banning out the Death Prophet. Probably in anticipation of a push strat coming out of the Canadians.
10 seconds to go. 5 seconds. Reserve time. Dyer's ban.
That was an odd audio sound for Skywrath Mage. I don't think I've ever heard him cry like that before. That's funny. So anyway,
10 seconds to go.
an interesting ban.
5 seconds.
I don't think that. I think usually the Skywrath Mage needs
Ban.
a strong lockdown element in order to be effective. And I don't really see a whole lot of reliable lockdown from Mirana and Sand King.
10 seconds to go.
But it could be a respect ban. I don't remember seeing Team Patriot run a Skywrath Mage in the past, but it could be that I haven't seen a game where they have used it to full effect. There's a puck ban. I will say I have experienced Team Patriot's puck play firsthand. I was on the wrong side of that, and it's something I would definitely ban if I were going up against them, because I gotta say their puck play is so fast-fingered that I have had enormous trouble dealing with it. So
Pick.
there's a Magnus, no doubt to be played by Hoju Simpson. That does give a lot of
10
position
seconds to go.
and lockdown capabilities. It's actually a long combination of stuns if you get hit with the any combination of order, of skewer, and reverse polarity.
Reserve time.
And of course combine that with the Blink Dagger, and which we'll no doubt see. And I think you'll see why being on the wrong end of a Magnus Skewer is no fun.
I speak for the trees.
Radiant's pick.
So a Nature's Prophet for Patriot. One moment.
Anti-mage.
Sorry about that. Alright.
Dyer's
Anti-Mage, so that's going to be their late game carry on the Canadian side.
Templar Assassin.
So a TA for the Patriot mid.
pick. 10 seconds to go. 5 seconds. Reserve time.
I'd say so far all of these are very reasonable choices and a reasonable progression. I've seen TA in a lot of high skill games, and she can definitely hold her own in the right hands.
Dyer's ban.
We have a PA ban. Canadians trying to cut the late game carry options for Patriot.
10 seconds to go. seconds.
And a Centaur Warrunner ban for Patriot means that the Canadians will pick up Lycan,
Dyer's pick.
who has somehow made it through all the bans, and is a strong split push element for their side. Possibly a good jungler or offlaner, and will hopefully, I'm sure to their understanding, be a counter to the split push potential of the Nature's Prophet.
10 seconds to go. 5 seconds. Reserve time.
And now Patriot going deep into the think tank for their last pick. They probably still need the carry here. According to their lineup, I wouldn't be surprised to see something like a Weaver or Spectre. Also a good option. I think right now, amongst the hard carries, Spectre is one of the most successful on Dota buff, leading the charts in percentage wins for late game carries. It'll be interesting to see if he builds for mid game or late game, depending on whether or not he goes for an early Radiance. Okay, so on the side of Dire, we have Sinister on the Sand King. Looks like Boo is on Spectre, Captain Katros on the Nature's Prophet, IQ is on Mirana, and we have Evidin on the TA. On the side of Radiant, we have Civil Pirate on the Anti-Mage, who is quickly going to safe lane, Adamas on the Shadow Shaman, Amarinal, hard to read the purple as it's moving, on the Witch Doctor, Hoju Simpson as predicted on the Magnus, nice courier, and Sheiktel on the Lycan, who is sitting mid. Interesting. Anti-Mage is rune guarding bottom. Looks like we have 3 on the Dire side going to top rune. Spectre, Sand King, and Mirana.
30 seconds to showtime.
It looks like they are going to take a second to make sure that there's no deep warding in their own jungle. And a similar bit of treant work here, who is spotting for Nature's Prophet. A very good off-lane play with early treants. Being able to cast them from Fountain and send them into lanes to either block a camp or to give them some vision. In that case, wasn't able to block a camp, but did give them some early vision. And it looks like Spectre will pick up the top bounty rune, Anti-Mage on the bottom, so both late game carries, picking up the early half level.
Radiant on one side, Dire on the other.
Got a little bit of ward vision going down, probably on both sides. So quickly, some smart play. Free blocking, getting to mid lane. This will be an interesting matchup. I don't think I've ever seen a Lycan versus a TA at mid. And Anti-Mage already leading the last hit chart. Looks like he's going to be farming mostly uncontested in the tri-lane versus the Nature's Prophet, who will have to sit back a little bit and just soak experience. Against an active tri-lane, that's going to be really difficult for him too. It looks like they have a gank going in though. There's a Shadow Shaman looking for him. He does pull down the shackles. Anti-Mage trying to nuke him down, but he still got his health. And they didn't have all 3 there, which means that they'll have difficulty getting in for the whole lot of damage. Anti-Mage having to fade back. At top, we do have Sand King, the Mirana, and the Spectre. Mirana with a lot of wards, so definitely playing that support position. So they're going to try to farm as quickly as they can with the Spectre, that being the key clearly to his coming online quickly. Hoju Simpson, he did skill Skewer first, which is a not uncommon thing for Magnus, given that it gives you the option to escape as well as offensively put people in a bad position. Like I think we saw in Game 1 of the first attempt at the series, an early skewer onto a cliff, which is really disruptive to your early game if you have to be stuck on a cliff for any number of minutes. That TA chasing deep on the Lycan. The Lycan not scared, just grabbing a tango and coming immediately back. He's very low right now. Nature's Prophet's still low and out of regen, but hanging around, soaking experience. And TA does have a bottle early, has a bounty rune on it. It looks like we have that roaming Mirana looking to try to help them kill the Lycan whenever the opportunity presents itself. She's waiting patiently, looking for an opening. At top, Spectre, just with the assistance of the Sand King, keeping the Magnus at bay, and just farming as quickly as possible. Still near the top of the charts at 14 last hits. And it looks like Lycan did have to head back for regen and a little bit of shopping, most likely. TA taking the opportunity to post a little bit of damage on tower. Little bit of a lull as everybody goes to farm. Wolves scouting to the north. And Mirana definitely sees the wolves there. We're going to chase her back into tower. Lycan now has a bottle. A long-range arrow, which will connect with nothing. They are going to go, all of them, for the illusion rune at bottom. Lycan, Mirana, and the TA. This is a dangerous spot for all of them. Mirana grabbing the illusion first, trying to nuke down the Lycan. TA is not going to chase, she's going to head back to farm. And Lycan will have support from the 3 in bottom lane, so he'll get away. In the meantime, TA taking down the wolves at mid. We do yield a good amount of gold. And she does have this important position ward right here, giving her vision. That's a great spot. This spot and this spot on high ground does give you vision at mid, which is very important, especially when you've got Mirana looking for arrows. It looks like the Radiant side is going to try to push tower at this point at bottom. They are unopposed in lane. Nature's Prophet is probably off jungling at the moment. Yep, but he will TP into the bottom lane to try to defend. Looks like he doesn't want to give up that tower too easily. TA going in to fight the Lycan here. Lycan getting down pretty low. He's in danger. Could get shot with one more blast, and that'll be a death and first blood. Or the TA taking down the Lycan at mid. Sand King is doing a little bit of jungle Sandstorm farming. With level 2 Sandstorm, a couple of clarities, I expect him to be in the jungle for a little while until he can probably pick up a Blink Dagger. Usually the way that works with the Sand King is that he'll stack a camp and then Sandstorm it to death. And while it does take a certain amount of time, it does free up a lot of farm potential in the lane for his partners. And it actually does not expose himself to much risk. Here's the TA looking for another attack on the Lycan. Smart play with her movement traps, making it impossible for him to get away. Also body blocking the Lycan, and he will fall before his Shadow Shaman teammate can come in to save him. That positioning potential is so important when trying to cut off their avenues of escape. You could see she stood right in front of him as he was trying to back away, and throwing down traps just like that against, again, the Shadow Shaman, nuking him down. She's probably going to dive and get him here as well, so that'll be 2 kills. And a late chicken, but well played to both. For both kills, that is. TA picking up actually the first 3 kills of the game. Anti-Mage is leading the last hit chart, but followed very closely by both the TA and the Spectre. So if this goes to late game, he may have trouble dealing with them. It used to be that Anti-Mage was the hardest carry in the game, period. But I'd say given equal farm, he's probably about equal. And there's the TA diving for the Shadow Shaman once again past the tower, and she will get Shadow Shaman. Lycan coming in to try to punish her for that. But there is backup there, and they won't be able to punish her for aggressive line of play at mid. Dire taking a clean advantage on the first 4 kills. And here we see the psionic traps from the TA, also giving them vision of the rune locations. Does she have one at top 2? Yep, sure does. Very common play for a TA. Here she is fighting the Lycan one-on-one. Lycan tries to get away, but the TA is going to nuke her down anyway. She does so much damage. Now she's in trouble. She is trapped. And everybody coming in to punish her for it this time. They do have a dust, so she can't meld. But Spectre's there. He does decide to come in on it, using his ultimate to form a reality where he can save her from the deep play. The quick TP back from Lycan. He was probably trying to catch the TA there and see if he could get her on the way out, but she already faded out across the river at the bottom rune location. And she's going to go home to heal and probably shop. So some very aggressive play from Team Patriot so far, netting them 8 kills to 0, an early lead, and Spectre having to walk back to lane. That is the one tough thing about Spectre coming in for these early team fights, is that he wastes a lot of time and a lot of farm potential, and he really just needs to farm. He has no native skills that help him to get to that early farm potential. He just has to get the last hits until he can get to something like a Radiance or something else that'll help him. Which means that every time he goes in with his ultimate and actually uses reality to come into the fight, he's losing out on a lot of CS in lane. And it looks like TA will grab an invisibility for a bottle. Sand King is still in the jungle farming with Sandstorm. He has Sandstorm at level 3 right now and 1833 gold, so probably saving up for the Blink Dagger. Anti-Mage has 1k gold. Let's see how everybody's doing on net worth. He does have his Perseverance, so he'll be going for Battle Fury soon. EA and Anti-Mage fighting it out here over top tower. Spectre does have drums now, which is really a great early item. Offers a good amount of stats, good escape. One of those items that you want one member of your team to have. And Treant pushing up. Or rather, the Nature's Prophets Treant's pushing up. on bottom lane. They should be able to take this tower.
Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower. Have fun trying to bust down Radiant structures now.
So Nature's Prophet, early Blade Mail. An interesting build. Mirana is sitting on a Smoke of Deceit. We'll see when they decide to use that. And TA now with a Blink Dagger and a DD rune. Probably looking for another kill. She's gonna try to find that Shadow Shaman in the jungle. He's moving back to his tower, which is a good thing for him.
Dyer's mid tower could use a little help.
It looks like we have Radiant massing at mid. Or at least falling back from it. Hoju Simpson moving forward to avoid the arrow, but now stuck, skewering away, getting caught by a movement trap, and nuked down by the TA who does have the DD rune activated.
Dyer's mid tower won't last much longer.
So he sensed the gank coming in, and he played smartly to try to avoid it, but there's just nothing he could do. The TA is a little bit fed right now, sitting at 11-0, which in combination with that DD rune means there's just no escape. You can see that animation canceling with the attacks, also wisely played. You see the little skews of movement as she clicks to move and then attack, giving her more attacks over time.
Doing so good. Radiant's top towers and
Lycan deciding to try to get back in the game by jungling. He is spotted out by a treant here, who will probably sit here and try to block a camp. Anti-mage fleeing from the TA. TA is chasing him, predicting his line of retreat with traps, but missing. Oh, Anti-mage does get... Wait, no, there he is. Who got caught there? Oh, that was the Shadow Shaman. I see. Happened too fast for me to see it even.
But it hides from the unworthy.
But either way, they both get the kills, or get the kill for both, and they have aggressive warding in the Radiant jungle now as well. So all of the dice are falling in the direction of Patriot at the moment, having the map farm and kill advantage. There's some trees. They're going in on the Lycan. A deep play by Nature's Prophet now. Lycan does take his ultimate form, but will fall. Wards are coming out to punish the aggressive Patriot, but Patriot will walk away from the fight there. We now have TA going for Roche. Already has it more than halfway down. There are some pings here. Looks like they do have it spotted. But given all of this attack damage and tanking from the Treants, there's probably not a lot that Radiant will be able to do here. And TA with the Aegis now. This will mean an opportunity to push heavily. All this happening in the first 15 minutes of the game. It's amazing to see what they've accomplished in that short amount of time. I mean, net worth already above 10k at 15 minutes. And if you look at that CS, she's at 89 CS for 15 minutes. 15 and a half. Looks like they're going to try to finish off top tower. Sand King moving in aggressively.
Radiant's top tower's hurting.
Spectre has a lot of gold in the bank.
Structures.
My guess is he's saving up for a Radiance. There's the reverse polarity. Hoju Simpson skewering him back into tower, and along with the help of his teammates there, is able to nuke down both the Spectre and the Sand King for that fight. Well played. Nice skewer.
Radiant's bottom tower's seen better days.
They're going to need a few more fights like that to get back into this game. There's TA diving deep all the way past the
Radiant's bottom tower.
tower line in order to get to the anti-mage and kill him.
How many is that? 2 down.
And TA with a double kill there. Also picking off the Witch Doctor.
Tower ain't a pretty sight right now.
Reports for calls for, report calls for TA. I think totally reasonable. There's a blink. Very aggressive again, going for the Lycan, who can't get away before he gets nuked down. Hoju Simpson even falling to the TA. Just unstoppable. And that nuke ending the Aegis life, but TA still now at full health. Takes so much to stop her. She has so much damage right now. She has a Desolator and a Yasha. And just killing at will. And some smart jungle play here too. I didn't even know you could do that from that side.
Top towers. Radiant's gone and fortified their structures. How about that?
Learn something new every day. Dota is so hard. They're taking advantage of the space created by the TA to push down the top tower here. Every time she dives deep and occupies the entire team going 1v3, 1v4, it is creating space for these guys. They're not just standing still. And that's translating into a huge map advantage as well.
One last top tower.
Nature's Prophet bringing his treants to mid as well. They're looking to take another tower. And TA looking to find a kill here. Lycan's in trouble. He knows it, so he shifts to ultimate for him. He's going to try to get out. Maximum move speed, but oh, does get hit. Man, look at him lose half his health to one hit. Jeez. The only thing saving him in that point was the max move speed of his ultimate form. But he goes back in. He's pretty low.
Radiant's mid tower could use a hand.
TA with that damage potential and that blink dagger.
Thanks.
You're just dead before you even know it. And we do have a Sand King with a blink now. And his epicenter is up. That level 1, that skewer just misses the Spectre. And Anti-Mage linking after, thinking about chasing, but not going for it. TA's in the woods, just waiting for opportunity. Sand King does go in with the epicenter. He's able to burrow strike in and catch out the Anti-Mage. Here come the wards, all kinds of wards coming down. In the end, Witch Doctor and Anti-Mage are the ones to fall. And now TA finally gets caught. I didn't even see where she was. She must have been so deep in enemy territory. And Lycan will fall to the 4. We're ready for him right there. And now with 4 heroes down on Radiant's side, Patriot will take the mid tier 2 tower.
Radiant's top tower's in bad shape. Radiant's mid tower's getting a what for.
Anti-Mage does have Battle Fury. But he's behind 3 of the heroes on the Dire side in terms of net worth. So not a great spot to be. It's so hard to play late game carry when the enemy team is so aggressive at 20 minutes. Lots of pings. Witch Doctor with a deep ward position, but might pay for it. Here comes a Dagon and a tree from Nature's Prophet. He will fall with Sand King as well. There's a skewer back. They're looking to see if they can get the Nature's Prophet there and punish him for it, but oh, here comes the TA, and everybody's got to run from the TA now. And using his Blink Dagger to escape. Oh, but there is a tough spot. Oh, arrow going wide. And he's still stuck in amongst the 3 heroes. And one of those is TA at this point. You're pretty much just dead. Oh man.
Tower's taking hits.
Normally, if you see a Lycan in shapeshifted form, with that max move speed, nobody can chase him down, but man, it's just so hard to get away from this team right now. So Dire's knocking on the door right now with 3 heroes and extending with the other 2 to take advantage of some farm potential and some split pushing potential here in the Nature's Prophet. Really just shutting the door on opportunities to get back into this game by controlling the whole map.
Radiant's bottom tower seen better days.
I mean, it's just so scary to get caught out right now, knowing that escaping is not an option, that it's really hard for Radiant to get into this and get some farm. Even being out here is scary for the anti-mage. And I'm sure that's what those pings were all about. I mean, how often do you see, like, guys just kind of clustered? Just not knowing what to do. Oh, there we go. Smart play. Here we've got a smoke. But with a smoke, they're probably going to look for a kill here. See if they can pick off a hero, maybe get the secret. Somebody needs to do some shopping, maybe. Yep, there's some arcane boots. Gutsy play, abandoning base to try to eke out some advantage, but it's probably smart because at this point, there's nothing else you can do. They do have the whole team here. Let's see if they can do something. There's a Death Ward as Skewer goes back. They are able to nuke down the Sand King, but to pay for it in the form of 3 of their heroes down. And now it's a chase. The TA running from the Lycan and Witch Doctor. But she does turn around, and man, with that Psyblades, is able to nuke straight through the Lycan and take down the Witch Doctor as well. In some ways, those Psyblades are even stronger than a Battle Fury. And while she's busy taking on the team by herself, the rest of the team is here. Again, pushing map control, taking tower advantage. Look at all of these Treants. And you can see that Mirana has definitely been a support this game. She's been buying all the expendable support items, contributing very effectively in that 5 roll. TA will take the Roche again. Here's a fight here. Magnus skewering the Spectre right across the wall into the camp. A great play by Magnus. A good moral victory to take out their hard carry. And, oh, Lycan looking to kill the Nature's Prophet, but Nature's Prophet turning it around on him with a combination of Blade Mail and Dagon. And there's Anti-Mage to take out the Nature's Prophet and make him pay for it. Oh, Shadow Mage falling to a quick blink and burst damage from the TA, who now has a Manta style, using it to nuke down towers. And despite the nerf to illusion damage on buildings, she is just doing horrendous damage between her Desolator. And you can see it falls a lot lower right now than it would have previously, but or a lot more slowly rather. But still an effective way to get more damage against towers in the late game. Manta also giving her a lot of survivability both in stats and the ability to disjoint some projectiles. Again, that Desolator just single-handedly nuking down buildings now. And there she goes, almost getting the TA, or the Anti-Mage. Ward goes down but stops pretty quickly. She's trying to get out. That epicenter going off. Gonna come back in. The whole team's there. And the GG call. Which was probably the right time. Playing to the bitter end, but the advantage from the early game is real, and Team Patriot will take game 1. Now with the T4s, nuking those down quickly. Here come the creeps to win the day. And that'll be game 1, advantage Patriot. Please join us for the next games coming up. This is a best of 5 series. So thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you in the next game shortly. Good games, all players involved.